Judge orders White House to return Jim Acosta's press pass. CNN's Jim Acosta has returned to his post at the White House following a court ruling that forced the Trump administration to reinstate his press pass. Now President Trump is vowing to create rules and regulations for how White House reporters act. He says you have to practice decorum at the White House. It's not a big deal, Trump told Fox News in an interview on Friday. What they said, though, is that we have to create rules and regulations for conduct, etc. We're going to write them up. It's not a big deal. If he misbehaves, we'll throw him out or we'll stop the news conference. Friday's ruling by federal judge Timothy J. Kelly was an initial victory for CNN in its lawsuit against Trump and several top aides. The suit alleges that CNN and Acosta's First and Fifth Amendment rights were violated by last week's suspension of his press pass. Kelly did not rule on the underlying case on Friday, but he granted CNN's request for a temporary restraining order on Fifth Amendment grounds. And he said he believes that CNN and Acosta are likely to prevail in the case overall. "Let's go back to work," Acosta said in brief comments outside the courthouse. Later in the day he arrived at the White House and received his Secret Service hard pass, the pass that was taken from him 9 days ago. He is expected to appear on CNN for one of his usual live shots on Friday evening. CNN v. Trump is an important test of press freedom in the U.S. Kelly, seemingly well aware of the high stakes, read his written opinion from the bench for nearly 20 minutes Friday morning. He sided with CNN on the basis of the suit's Fifth Amendment claims, saying the White House did not provide Acosta with the due process required to legally revoke his press pass. He left open the possibility that the White House could seek to revoke Acosta's pass again if it provided due process. That may be why Trump is talking about implementing rules. Kelly went to great lengths to explain what his decision meant and what it didn't mean to the attentive audience. He emphasized the very limited nature of the ruling. He said that while he may not agree with the underlying case law that CNN's argument was based on, he had to follow it. "I've read the case closely," he said. "Whether it's what I agree with, that's a different story. But I must apply precedent as I see it." Kelly criticized last week's blacklisting of Acosta as shrouded in mystery, noting that the Justice Department lawyer in the case couldn't even say who ordered the decision. But he also said that he was not making a judgment on the First Amendment claims that CNN and Acosta have made. Despite that, Sanders said in her statement, "Today, the court made clear that there is no absolute First Amendment right to access the White House." The judge did not make that clear. But he did note that Sanders' initial claim that Acosta had inappropriately touched a White House intern was likely untrue and partly based on evidence of questionable accuracy. Acosta held onto a microphone when an intern